Oh, I guess I'll act normal that the camera's on. What's up, everybody? Josh Roble here. It has been snowy outside for like a week and a half, and it is driving me crazy. We've been on Thanksgiving break, so there literally hasn't been much to do. We've been kind of cooped up inside, haven't been able to get much reps in, gotten a few workouts in here and there, but man, I've had it. So I guess to kind of help kill the time, I'm going to do a quick video doing a review of the Maverik, the Rome RX3s, and then comparing those between the Maverik, the Rome. These are the 2019 models. So I just got my hands on these over the summer, and so I'm going to be using these for the upcoming spring. So I'm kind of doing a pre-season review of these guys, and then after the season's over, I'll do like a post-season review of like how well they held up and all that stuff. So jumping right into it, let's see. Starting off with the Rome RX3s. These are my very first pair of goalie gloves. I switched into these last season, and right off the bat, the comfortability level of these is awesome. They're super comfortable, and even still, when I wear them now, there's the thumb, everything is still in place, all the padding on the inside, which is nice. All of the ventilations and stuff in here, which that was the main upgrade between the two gloves, was I think the ventilation and also a little bit of padding, which I'll get into in just a minute. But other than that, it's still super comfortable. It held up really well. I mean, I did get a couple holes in the palm here that was probably about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through the season that I started to see those, which every pair of gloves I've had has eventually started to rip right there. So it's unfortunate, and it's kind of a bummer because there really is no like best way to fix that. If you kind of came up with a hack or you know a way how to fix those, let me know. Comment it down below, please. But yeah, those kind of drive me crazy after a while. So they held up really well for the whole season. Honestly, the biggest change for me switching to goalie from playing attack was the thumb. I thought that was going to be I never knew how I was going to actually pass and catch with this bulky thumb. But honestly, it took almost no time at all to kind of get acclimated to, and I hardly even notice it now. So that definitely doesn't really hinder your performance at all with the thumb. So jumping into the differences between the two gloves now, like I mentioned before, the ventilation on the top of the glove here, you can see specifically like here in the kind of shield, I'm just gonna call that a shield shape, I don't know, right up here, it's no longer a mesh. They have it in the 2019 models, it's actually pretty large cutouts, and they go all the way through, so it flows freely right through there, and as well along the sides with these parts. So that's a nice update. One thing I did notice though, and I think this is kind of an issue with all goalie gloves, because there really is no way to ventilate the thumb. But with the thumb being so big and bulky, it does kind of tend to, soak up a lot of sweat. It gets really hot in there, and it does not smell very good after a while. So goalie gloves especially, you definitely need to keep them clean by putting some those glove sticks in there, or some shoe fresheners, anything that you can get your hands on, really just throw in there. So if you're a goalie, I definitely recommend those. I haven't got a pair myself personally, but they're on the list. So the ventilation, one of the main differences between the two. Another thing I noticed, there's a second cuff layer on the top of the RX3s, and so when I hold it to you like this, you can kind of see it. There's the actual outside layer of the glove, and then there's like a second middle layer, and then there's the actual cuff. So with the 2019 models, they eliminated that middle layer altogether. So you have the outside glove, then you just have the cuff on the inside. And so you can tell kind of right away that allows for a little bit more mobility and doesn't really hinder your wrist movement as much. So that's something that I kind of like about these gloves, and you can tell right away that the cuff is already super flexible and it's not really going to stop you from, you know, moving your wrist in any direction, which is nice. Another cool feature about these gloves that I think they're starting to add to more gloves, especially goalie gloves, is the pop off cuff here. So they actually have this little blue tab where you can kind of fold that to the side, and it takes 2 seconds and you pop it out. And so just do it to this side and there. Now if you don't like the cuffs, if you're a goalie that would rather just have no cuffs, you just want the ultimate range of motion on your wrist, there you go. Me switching from attack in midfield, I kind of like the cuff. I don't think it really hinders my mobility all that much, and I kind of like having the option to just like let it hang on my wrist if I'm grabbing some water or whatnot. So I know as a goalie you don't really need that because you have your giant goalie head to just throw your gloves in if you're grabbing some water really quick or something. So it's not that big of a deal, but I like them on there. Another main difference between the two, and something that I look at probably first and foremost in buying gear, is the price point. The RX3s are now on clearance on Lacrosse Monkey for $109, and the Maverik 2019 models, these are on Lacrosse Monkey for $189. So pretty big jump in price between the two, and definitely something you want to consider if you're like me and kind of have to budget for your gear and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of the main differences between the two. They both are super comfortable. I think these ones are just going to have a little bit more airflow, a little more ability with the wrist, but other than that, they're both really solid gloves, really good. So there you have it, guys. If you're a new goalie, or if you're like switching to the position, or if you're looking for a new pair of gloves but can't drop too much money on them, I definitely recommend the RX3s. These things were awesome. Yeah, like I said, thanks for checking out the video, and thanks for helping me kill a little bit of time in the middle of this ridiculous snowstorm, and I hope to be getting some reps in soon. So also, another quick just kind of side note. I know I'm definitely a new goalie, new to this whole position, so my reviews are definitely just kind of like, you know, I wouldn't read too much into them. I wouldn't take them as like from an expert. There's more professional goalies who can give you a lot more information, and there's more experienced lacrosse players who can probably, you know, give you a much more in-depth analysis of the gloves and all that stuff. But I just like making these videos, and I hope you guys like watching them. So thanks for checking it out, and like and subscribe. Let's go, Lynx. Let's go, baby.